Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you, Harshpreet. Thank you, Samrat. Thanks, everyone who has joined us on all of our social platforms. Thank you, Rahul. Thanks for everyone who has joined on our YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram. Thank you so much, and thanks to all the people who has joined on Zoom. Right? Thank you, Sunita. Great to have all the people who have been there on day one, right? Amazing. So, how many of you are excited for the day two? Type E in the chat box. People who are, joining us on our social channels, I'd request everyone to go ahead and join us on our Zoom session. The Zoom link is there on the chat, right? Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sunita. Thank you, Rahul. Thank you, Samrat. Thank you, Ram. Yes, Ram Prakash. Great. So we are here. Okay. So we are going to start with our Ho'oponopono technique. This technique requires you to close your eyes and be in a focused environment and close out all your distractions. This is a Hawaiian technique which helps in clearing out negativity and self-doubt. Okay. So this technique uses four statements which are I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And these statements will be saying to our own selves. Okay. So I request everyone to close your eyes and say the statements out loud instead of just within yourself. Okay. Close your eyes, relax your breath, relax your forehead, relax your eyes, relax your cheeks, relax your shoulders, relax your back, relax your feet. Put your hand on your heart. I'd be taking out my name, Sachi, and you'd be taking yours, right? Let's begin. I'm really sorry, dear Sachi. Here you'd be taking your name. I'm really sorry, dear Sachi, for not taking care of you. I'm so sorry for disconnecting with you, dear Sachi. I'm so sorry for leaving you alone. I am the one who judges you so much. I am the one who criticizes you so much. Please forgive me, dear Sachi, for underestimating you. Please forgive me, dear Sachi, for not believing in you. Thank you, dear Sachi, for letting me have this beautiful experience of life. Thank you so much. From now on, it doesn't matter who doesn't love you, it doesn't matter who doesn't appreciate you, because I promise from now on, I love you, I'm here, and I would never let you go again. Rub your hands together and put that energy to your face. Okay, so how is everyone feeling? You can put one word in the chat box. People who are joining us on our social channels can put in the comment section. Ram Prakash, happy. Saujanya, relaxed, calm, great, peaceful. Okay. Oh, that's a lot of good results. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sunita. Thank you, Rahul. Feeling good, peaceful. That's great. Okay, so let's begin. Anand says relaxed. Let's start with the exercise day two. I'm going to share the link to the day two here. First on Zoom. And also for our friends on YouTube. Hey Keshwan, I do. Thank you so much. Yes, great. So let's begin. I'm going to share my screen. So now if you are first time joining the session, we would be learning by exercise. This particular program is part of a bigger course, which is the blockchain, the AI bronze program. And these particular 5 days are absolutely free. There'll be a certification provided. And as we progress towards our graduation day, we will keep on learning a little more and more Python. And how we'll learn how to use these skills for our data science. Okay. Thank you so much for everyone who has joined in on the second day as well. Thank you so much. Let's begin. So, how do we learn? We learn by exercise. That is our mode of learning. So, we'll first go to the exercise one, and the exercise one says on a coin toss, if it's heads, India bats. If it's tails, Australia bats. Right. So yesterday we said we'll give a little thinking ability to our Python program. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay. So I'm going to paste the exercise. People who are joining us on mobile, you might have to scroll left and right for running this. People who have a desktop, I'd request you to switch to your desktop. Now would be a good time. Okay, great. So now first, what we have created a variable. We have learned about variable yesterday. In that variable, we can give any value. In that, we have given the value, a string, which is heads. Okay. Now what we are going to do, we are going to do something called a conditional, which is an if condition. So what we are going to say, it is like simple English only. So what was the question? If toss is heads, then say India is batting. So how do we say in Python? We say print, right? So when you print, then it gets printed. Okay. So just note the way you are writing it. So this particular notation is called syntax. And if you see the syntax, if toss the variable double equals to. So now this double equal to is different from this single equal to. The single equal to means this is definition, and the double equal to means that this is a function or a condition check, right? So here we are checking if toss is heads or not. Earlier we said toss is heads. Now we are asking if toss is heads, so that is or the check is notate. The notation is double equal to. So double equal to for check, single equal to for definition. Okay. So how many of you are clear with what we have done here? Right. Okay. So now if I print, what will happen? Now you have to just note that this particular semicolon, the double dots is also essential. Then only Python will know after this particular line, whatever starts is the new block. Okay. Right. I'll run it. And then it says India is batting. Okay. So Kannan says yes. Can you please explain? Spandana says so. Spandana, if you have not joined our first session, also that's not a problem. We'll cover from the beginning, but you can also find our session day one on YouTube as well, right? So how do you go that? Toss equals to head is a variable that we have created. So now variables, we have spoken about that at length yesterday, but a variable is something that will hold a value, right? So if I say heads, it will have heads. If I say tails, it will have tails. If I say anything, let's just say zoom, it will have zoom. Okay. So that is how this variable can hold different values. Now what we are saying, if toss is double equal to, means we are asking if toss is heads. Here we are saying toss is heads, but here we are saying check if toss is heads, right? Then we are giving double quotes, the semicolon, then we are writing print. Now if I run, because toss is heads, because we said toss is heads, it is going to print India is batting. Okay, so what it will do, it will come here and check if toss is heads. If yes, toss has heads in it, heads equal to heads, then it will print this statement, whatever is written. I hope that explains to you, Spandana. Now, there is one challenge. Now, if you see this space that I have given here, if I do not give that space, we will run into an error. Okay, so I have removed that space. Okay, thank you, Spandana. If the space is important, after if the next line is in the same line, then you will see that there is something called indentation error. So what is indented? Indented means it has to be taken a little inside, right? So if I give a single space also, it the if statements knows that this particular line of code is below the if statement. So when this condition is true, I'll run whatever is below it. Okay, so this is very important, and this is called indentation, right? So like many people have put their screenshots on the group. I request people to take a screenshot while you are running and put that screenshots on the group. Okay, so after the session, now we have run it. Now what happens if toss is not heads, right? So then what we do, let's first try to change heads. Let's just say tails. Now toss is tails, but we do not have a statement to tell what to do when it is not heads or tails, right? So if I am going to run, there's nothing that got printed here. So I'm going to scroll to the exercise and come here and see that there is one line of code which says else. Now if else works like this, if toss is equal to tails, meaning if this is true, then this do this. If that is not true, then do this. Okay, so I'm going to make the toss as heads only. Okay, so if I run it, it says India is batting, because it what we have given it a little thinking ability. It now was able to think and say, okay, toss is heads, so it is India's batting. Now if I'm going to say tails, it will say, oh sorry, not here. If I say toss is here tails, then it will come here and say, okay, toss is not heads, then I should not run this statement. I'll go into the else block and then print Australia is batting. So if I run it, you can see that Australia is batting, right? So how many of you understood what is an if else statement and how we were able to perform this particular operation? If you're able to understand it, type U in the chat box. Thank you, Ahmed. Thank you, Sunita. Thank you, Sanjana. Thank you, Roshni. Thanks, Vijay. Thanks, Ram. Okay, that's great. Now, thanks, Anand. We have understood the basic layout of conditional, right? Thank you, Spandana. Thanks, Kanan. Now, what do? We go to our exercise 2 and do a little more, experimenting. I request you to take a screenshot so that you can put it on the group. Okay, I'm going to clear it here. Then I have pasted it, the new one. So what is the second exercise? It says logic of traffic signals, right? So we have created a variable signal, and if signal is green, you can see that here is a check, then print go. Okay, so now because the signal is green, and if signal is green, then it should print go. I'll run it. Okay, it has printed go. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to say else. Okay, then print what? Print stop. Okay, I'm going to say print stop. So there is enough space before the if block and else block. So if it is green, then it will print go. If it is not green, then it is going to print stop. Okay, so let's say it is red. Okay, now I'm going to run it. It is going to say stop. Okay, so how many of you understood this particular exercise here? If you understood, type U in the chat box. Okay. So now how do we go and do yellow? What happens if we have an orange or a yellow light, right? So we have to wait or stop, right? So how do you put that in the conditional is our next question. So now if you see, sometimes what happens, we have to check two. Now there's only, if it's not like heads and tails, it has three: red, green and yellow. Okay. So now in this case, we have something else which is called elif, right? It is something like else if. Okay. It is not else if, it is elif. We are going to say if signal equal to green, then print go. Else if, which is shorthand notation, is elif. If signal equal to, I'm going to say signal equal to yellow, then print, let's just say ready. Okay. Okay. Rahul says we will use then statement. Yes, in a way it is like that only. If signal equal to green, print go. Else if signal equal to yellow, print ready. Okay. Or wait, you whatever you want to write, you can write it. Okay. Now what happens is, if signal is yellow, it first will check if it is green. It's not green, it'll not print go. Then it will check else if statement, right? Is it yellow? If it is yellow, then get ready. Okay. Then okay, or wait, or slow down, whatever you want to write. So if now, because it is yellow, the yellow will match here and this particular block of line will run. Okay. So if I'm going to run, it says ready or wait. Okay. Okay. So let's just say wait and stop. Now it says wait. Okay. So how many of you understood else if, which is the elif statement in the conditionals, right? If you understood it, type you in the chat box. Great. Thank you, Sampada. Thank you, Rahul. It's great. Thank you, Rohit. Thank you, Sanjana. Okay. So people who are watching us on YouTube, I request you to write your comments in the comment section. Yes, we have many people joining on our social channels, saying you really nice. Thank you so much. Ahmed asks, multiple else if statements can be used. Yes. Okay, let's just say you have come up with a new color. What is the new color? Let's say we say, okay, Johari. Okay, I'll explain, right? So now what we are doing here is, there is the signal. Now signal is yellow, red or green here. Okay. So now what we are going to do here is, we are going to say, let's Ahmed, we can use multiple statements also. Now, for example, if signal equal to green, do this. Else if signal is yellow, do this. Else if signal is another word, let's just say what color? Blue. Okay. Then print blue. Okay. Blue signal. I'm just going to randomly doing it because Nasim answering your question here. You can have multiple else if statements, right? So first it will come here. It will check if signal equal to green. If it is green, it will print go. Then it will say else if signal is yellow, then it will print wait. If it is blue, it will print blue signal. Else, if it is none of these, it will go and print stop. Okay. So let us try to run it. Now signal is green, and let Python think and tell. Now it says go. Okay. Now I'm saying it is blue. It's going to print blue signal. Now if I'm going to say anything, okay, apart from these colors, let's just say if it is red, because there is no condition that says red anywhere, it will go into the else block and print stop, right? So how many of you understood? Like, I hope Johari, Bharti, we are able to answer your question. Basically, what we are doing is we are creating one variable which will hold the value of the signal, and then we are writing multiple else if statements or if statements to give a condition. And here the condition we have double equal to. If there is double equal to in the statement, it is going to check. So we have said signal is red. Now it will come here if signal is equal to green. But now signal actually was red, but we are checking if it is green. So it is not green. So it will skip this statement. It will go here. Now it will say signal was red, but it is coming here and saying red is not equal to yellow, and it will not print this. It will go to the next line. It will come here. What is the signal? Signal is red. Red is not equal to blue, and is going to say skip this. Then it will come here. Okay, none of these were true. Okay, I'll go and print stop. Okay, so it's like that. So it will stop, and that is how the if else loop runs. Okay, I hope that we answered your query, Bharti. Great, amazing. So we have understood. Yeah, so I think Rahulji will also come to those statements also. Multiple true, what will happen? So multiple true means it will, wherever it is true, those statements will run, right? Wherever it is false, it will skip or do whatever is there in the else block, right? So we'll also discuss about that. So now we'll get into the third exercise. Now what we are doing is now we are going to give a little more thinking ability. So people who have done this, take a screenshot so that you can put it on the group. Okay, great. So I'm going to clear this. The next exercise is we are going to say if a student gets marks 90 or higher, give him A grade. If he is getting anything between 65 included and 89, he should get a B. If anything less than 65, he should get a F grade. Okay, so now we'll come to the block, and we'll copy here. So now we have to put condition here, right? So earlier there was signal in signal example, there was coin toss in coin toss example. Now we need a variable here, so we'll create a variable. So let's call the variable as score. Now score, let us give some score. Let's just say early first student. Now the student got 96. Okay, now our logic should say 90 or higher should get an A. So I'm going to say if score is greater than or equal to, so greater than is given with that symbol, equal to 90, then okay, instead of return we are going to say print A grade, say grade A. Okay, now we have else if the second statement is it is between 65 and 89, right? So anybody would want to take a guess? You can unmute and let us know, or put it on the chat. What would be the second statement? Between 65 and 89. Okay, yeah, please go ahead. Yes, Harshpreet. Okay, I think your voice is not reaching us. Okay, so what we'll do,
if score is greater than 65 and less than 99, then it will be A grade.
okay, so can you tell again, Harshpreet?
If wait, I'm telling you, if score is greater than Greater than 65 and less than 89, then the grade will be B.
Okay, I think that's good one. So thank you so much, Harshpreet. We'll go ahead and which city you are from, Harshpreet?
Yeah, I'm from Mali.
Okay, so which what do you do currently?
Yeah, I'm a computer faculty.
Wow, thank you so much. Really nice.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank
sorry.
you so much, Harshpreet.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go by what Harshpreet said. Score is greater than 65. Uh, then we can also do something which is called an AND operator. Let me introduce another operator. Like how we had plus operator, we can say and score is less than 89. Right? Else if the score is greater than 65 and if the score is less than 89, then we are going to say print B, grade B. Okay. So one thing that we can do here is, now if you see it is greater than 65. Okay. So if you want to also give, if somebody gets 65, if you still want to give them grade B, then you say greater than or equal to 65 if score is greater than or equal to 65 and if score is less than or equal to 89, then print grade is B. Okay, so that is how we have written our second statement. Okay, so if it is not both, then print grade F. Okay, here we are going to run it. Okay, so now we are given a scorer kind of in a small application. We're asking Python to tell the score based upon whatever number we are giving. Okay, so now I'm going to run it. Because it is 96, definitely it will give a grade A. So now you can see that first score is 96. Now it will come here and say 96 is greater than 90, then this is true. So let me go ahead and print this particular statement, and it is printed. Okay, so what happens if the score is between 65 and if I let's just say we give 74. Okay, and if I'm going to run it, it's going to give us a grade B, and anything less than 65 it's going to give grade F. Okay, so let's just say if you have multiple students, the students can come and directly know their score by entering their, I mean know their grade by entering their score, right? So you have given Python little, very little thinking ability to uh, tell us what is the grade based upon the score that we are giving. Yes, thank you so much, Samrat, for writing in the condition as well. Thank you so much. Right. So, how many of you understood this particular example? If you understood it, type U in the chat box. Thank you, Spandana. Thank you, Ahmad. Thank you, Sunita. Hashpreet, I am sure that you might have definitely understood it. Thank you, Sunita. Thank you, Ahmad. Thank you, Johari. Thank you, Kanan. Thank you, Anand. That's great. So we have on our social channels Vijay, Saujanya, Rohit. Thank you so much, everyone. Okay. So we have understood this particular exercise also. So now you have understood conditionals. Thank you, Bhuvan. Now that you have understood the conditionals, we can even go further and understand a little more in deep about our functions also, right? So what is a function and what is a condition? The difference is function is something that you can use without knowing what it is, what the logic is, right? So basically it's like the switch, for example, you know that the function of the light switch is when you go and click or turn it on, it'll turn on or off, but you need not know what is the logic, how the wiring is there, where from where the power is coming, right? How many units it is, right? So how many of you agree you need not know the whole logic every time? And sometimes it is easier to just, even though you can understand it even maybe you are the only person who has seen every wiring and everything, but you're not every time wanting to do it. So you just want to go and on and off. Just imagine if at all you had to turn light on every time you go and do wiring, and then the light will come. So is that a easier way, or turning on and off is an easier way? Right? One, for wiring every time. Two, put in the chat box. Two, if it is uh, just on and off. Yes, two, right? So thank you so much. The easiest way is to go ahead and use the function that is there. Okay, so what we are going to do here is we are going to do this exercise. I hope people you have taken your screenshots. I'm going to clear this. Now the same logic we had, right? If let's just say if toss is heads, India's batting, else Australia's batting. We have already understood it. You need not have to understand this more. Okay, that's clear. Now what we are doing it, before that if statement, we are going to write a statement which says def, which means definition. Then we give the name of the function, coin flip. Okay, and in that we give toss as a variable, right? So whenever you want to run this, what you can do is you can just say call the function. Okay, so what I'm going to do it, here you can see there is a small arrow. If I click on this arrow, this will get hidden. Like you do not have to know what is the logic. For example, I can write the logic of toss. You can just call the function. Yeah, like you can call it like this, coin flip, the name of the function, and then you can pass on whatever you want. Is it heads or tails? So for example, now if I say coin flip of heads, and if I run it, it is saying India is batting. So let's see what happened. Now when I call this function, this is function call. Okay, I call the function went into the definition. It saw, okay, here is the definition for the function name coin flip. Then what was passed on, heads was passed on into the function call. So it says toss is heads now. Okay, what was passed, toss is heads now. Okay, then it will go into the function and say, now if toss is heads, yes, it is heads, so I'll print India's batting, and then it will come out of that particular function. So now functions are useful to every time you don't have to change the logic of that particular statement. You can just go ahead and change your function call, and you'll get a different output. Right? Whenever I say it's heads, it is going to say India is batting. Whenever I'm going to say tails, it is going to say Australia is batting. Right? So how many of you understood the basic use of a function? If you understood it, type U in the chat box. Thank you, Ahmad. Thank you, Rahul. Thank you, Ram. Thank you, Spandana. Thank you, Sunita. So basically, function is helpful in other ways also. It is also reusable, right? You can do the same thing for your grading function also. Okay, so we'll even try that. So before that, we'll just try a small function. Okay, so I'm going to clear this off, right? I hope you have taken screenshots so that you can put it on the group. Right. Hey, Rajesh. Now I've given the second function. Now this is called the function header, right? So I'm clicking on this arrow. Don't just be puzzled like where are the lines. I'm just clicking on this arrow on this number. So the definition def means we have named the function square, and then we have passed n. Now this n is called parameter. When you are passing it, it's called parameter. Sorry, parameter. Okay, now this function takes a parameter n. That is what it means. Now I'm going to, within the function, what you do is your wish. Okay, so in this function, the function body, what we are doing, we are creating a new variable. we are calling that variable squared. Okay, the function name is square. Let's just say the instead of squared, you can even say result. Okay. Now within that, result equal to n power 2, which is n into 2 means n power 2, or you can say n into n. Into is asterisk symbol. Okay, I'm saying n.
Instead of squared, you have to write result.
Uh,
Result
yes,
down. Instead of squared, you have to write result there, na?
yes, correct.
Short
Thank
sign.
you, thank you. I'm going to do that correction only. Now the result here. Here now what we are doing, print instead of the squared, I'm going to say result.
Result, yeah.
Yeah, in the return, we are going to say result. Okay. So why I have removed the squared name is because it will cause confusion, square and squared, right? So now let us learn by running the function. So now what we are doing here is there is the function name square, and I'm going to pass 2. This is the function call, and here it was called parameter. Whatever was by default, that is called parameter. And when you're doing a function call, this is called argument. Here 2 is an argument, right? This function has taken an argument 2, and this argument, when it is defined, is called parameter. So square of 2, it will go here. N is now 2. Now the function, it will open the function. We'll see. Okay, now I should create a variable result, and in the result I'll say n into n. Now n is 2, so 2 into 2 it will say, it will do 4, and that 4 is saved in the result variable. Okay, now it will come to next statement. It says print square of the number is. It will go ahead and print square of number is, then it will print what is there in the variable result, print result. Okay, so let us run it. So I'm going to say print run. So you can see that it has printed square of the number is 4. Okay, now if I'm going to say print square of 5, the function call,
25.
yeah, it's going to say 25. Thank you so much, Ashwini. So if you can see, you don't have to actually always keep changing the lines. You can just change the argument or the input, right? So you can say square of 25. It will even calculate that and give it back to you. It says 625, right? So what it is doing, it is going inside, creating a variable. So whenever you do a function call, it will run everything that is there. The logic will be based upon whatever you have written in the function body, right? So this is called the body, and this result, whatever you are doing in the end, is the response, and this is the header. Okay. So here, one thing that we have done here is a return. We have also used a new statement which is return. You can also print every time, but return means wherever the function is called, it will give that number also back. Like for example, here it is printing 625, and then it is saying out 620. So the use of return is, for example, I can say new, let's just say, and I'm creating another variable. Okay, let's just say the value is x. Okay, x equal to square of 25. Okay, or let's just say y equal to square anything. Okay, now I can just go ahead and print y equals.
Why?
Yeah. So how what will happen is whatever is the result. If
It
you only have print
save
statement,
into one.
it will print. Now it will also save that result and return it. This return statement will return and save that value in y variable. Right. So when you print y, it can print it. Okay. So let me show it to you. I'm going to you know comment this particular print here. Okay. Here also I'm going to comment this print. Okay. It'll it'll come here first, y square of y. This is the function call. Okay, so here it will fall, let's just say let's give 4. Okay, square of 4, it will go inside. Now n is 4, 4 fours are 16, and it will return 16. And where it will return to y. Okay? Now I'm going to print y.
Y equal to 60.
Yes, the value will be 16, right? So I hope this example was clear. If you understood this example, type U in the chat box. Yes. Yeah. Yes, Sunita. The question is clear. By using print also, we can get the same output. So by return, you can save it the output in other way, right? So that is sometimes useful because you know whatever output is coming, you want to save it in one particular box and then see what is there in that particular box, that particular variable, right? Okay. So thank you, Bhuvan. Thank you, Spandana. Thank you, Ashpreet. Thank you, Ram Prakash. Thanks everyone for letting us know. And the statement. Okay. So I hope people you can unmute yourself if there is any background noise. Okay. Thanks. Okay. Now that we have understood a little bit of conditionals, I request you to take relax, go through it if it is first time you're doing, understand it, run them, take the screenshots and put them on the group, right? So this will be helpful. Thank you, Kanan. Thank you, Bharti. Okay, so this concludes our today's session. I hope you have taken value out of it, and don't forget to put your screenshots on the WhatsApp group. People who are watching us on WhatsApp or YouTube, directly see in the description, you will find the WhatsApp link to the group. It is already full. See if you are able to join. If you can click on it and check if you are able to join, and then you can also submit your assignments there. Thank you so much. We're super excited for our graduation day. And I would also want to, let everyone know that every Saturdays we have our AI master class. In the master class, we talk about what all things you can do. How can you become a data science professional? How can you become a machine learning engineer? How can you aim for the salary brackets between those 7L, 9L, 15L, and all those kinds of uh, brackets you can also aim, right? So I'll be sharing the link for the Saturday session also. That will be taken by Latika ma'am. So Latika ma'am explains more about the program. In that program, she'll also be telling more details about our blockchain bronze course and blockchain silver course also. So I hope if you are planning on becoming a serious data science professional, and if you want to go into that particular direction, now that you are having more confidence on Python, I'm sure that that would be the next logical step. I'll be sharing that link. But thank you so much for joining in today also, right? And we'll on graduation day we'll be sharing the certificates and everything. So super excited to see more people be confident in Python. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. And if there's any question, you can put it on the group. If there is any error of any of your peers, you can go ahead and help. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. Any queries, if you have, you can put it on the chat box. Okay, I think that's. Thank you so much. Have a good one, everyone. Thanks. Bye bye. Thank you, Spandana.
So can you tell me about the AI? What are the charges for AI class?
Yeah, so basically, Harshpreet, if at all you are coming from a different background and switching also, even the beginner level, so you need to do a little bit projects. You need to build fluency in Python. Right now we are understanding basics of Python, so you
Yeah,
need the fluency in Python. That also,
advanced.
yeah. So even intermediate Python, right? So if
Okay.
that also you do, because there are different types of jobs. One is data science, then there is machine learning jobs, and then there are deep learning jobs. right? So data science related jobs mean that they are your entry, like level one, even those job salaries are also from 7L, 9L, 12L till 15L. So data
Just
science.
for all these concepts, data science, AI, we have to learn Python only.
Yes, data science, especially, mostly relies on these languages, which is Python or R kind of languages, which are very, flexible in working with data. So that is the reason you'll have to learn Python, right? Towards the end of our 5 day, also we'll show you how you can work with data.
Okay.
Similarly, you can work with, like, for example, there is some DMART. Okay, now DMART gave the project to one particular company and asked them to generate data on what Diwali offers they should run based upon last 3 years of Diwali product sales. Okay,
Okay.
which regions what offers need to be run. So what they will do, they'll use Python and use the data that is given as an input. They'll run their model. They'll run the program, whatever logic they have written, and they'll generate insights saying that you should be, because DMART has so much data. Last
Yeah.
3 years of data, every Sunday how much rush is there? Every
Yes.
last years, huge amounts of data. So to work with those amounts of data, Python has some very good libraries which we will be understanding in our deeper courses, which is the AI bronze. But I'm really happy that you have that interest and the curiosity to learn more. I think you'll be able to understand more in our Saturday session also. I'll be sharing the link for the session tomorrow.
Okay. Okay. And what are will be the timings for this session?
That session will be at 7 o'clock. That will say that will be a longer session. It's like a master class.
Okay.
You can learn more details there. Right?
Okay.
So that is more about, that will not be hands-on coding. The hands-on coding is the current sessions. That will be more of what is possible in AI, what is the scope for AI, and how you can be part of it. Like
What
that.
we do in AI? What
Uh,
we do in AI?
what do we in AI? Basically, see, now we have understood data science. In AI, you create models right now. For example, next time you do not want, if somebody asks, now DMart is your regular customer, and next year also or next month also they're going to ask some data. Now they say, instead of Diwali, they're saying on Raksha Bandhan what is going to move fast. Okay, now you don't have to do everything, right? You can train your model in a way that uh, it will only suggest based upon data. It will learn
What
artificial.
kind of offers we have to give?
Yeah, it will only tell by its own self every time. Right now, monsoon is coming. Now, rainy season is coming. Now, this is coming. Why don't you do these offers?
Okay.
Like how
Okay.
Google Maps tells you, right? There's going to be traffic in this congestion in this particular road. So similarly, AI will do a lot of insight generation. It will think, like how we give us little thinking ability to our small Python program, and it was able to give us codes and all. Now the Python now will be thinking on its own self and giving us insights. Right. So that project you don't have to fully do it by yourself. There will be teams. You'll be doing a small portion of work only. So and so logic has to be built by so and so. That only has to be done. But as a whole team, you will build a big AI or a machine learning model.
Okay.
So you will get more details, Hashpreet, I'm sure, on
Okay.
the session also, right? So
Okay.
post Saturday also we'll be continuing, and we can get in touch, and you can always have. So here, let me leave my details. So if there's any query, anytime you plan on understanding more, you can always call any of you, Jagan, Spandana, Bharti, Bhuvan, all of you can always reach out to us. Right? Thank you so
Okay.
much, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.